Well, hello everybody and welcome back to another new vlog. Thank you for joining me once again. I'm just out and about again in the woodland because, quite frankly, I love to be out and about in the woodland during the autumn season. Apologies for the plane noise up above. Yeah, like I was saying, I love to be out and about in the autumn season in a woodland because there's so much going on. You get the constant pop of acorns and conkers and tiny twigs falling from the trees. You've got the beautiful colours of the leaves changing and falling from the trees themselves, so you've got those colours on the floor and in the trees. But also you've got the constant hurried scurrying of woodland animals like squirrels and mice running around the woodland floor. It makes it a really interesting atmosphere, and as well as that you've got beautiful light that dapples through the trees at times. And I've noticed a spot here just behind me. You can see exactly what I'm talking about. You've got this light here on the leaves on the ground, and then you've got these trees behind, and there's beautiful light on the yellow and green leaves that are left on the trees behind. And I was thinking there's probably a shot just there. It's going to have to be a long lens, 70 to 300mm, and somehow I'm going to have to focus somewhere on the trees themselves and capture the golden light on the leaves behind. So that's the plan here. I don't know whether this will work. I found a composition that I think works. It's probably going to have to be a portrait orientation as well, because the trees themselves are running so slim and tall up the middle of the image. So I hope you like this one. It's a bit experimental, but it's one that I quite like. That was quite an interesting shot. I said it was experimental. In the end I've used the 70 to 300mm lens, about 100mm. But as well as shooting a portrait orientation shot, I've also taken a landscape orientation shot with that. I wasn't sure which of those I preferred, but they both look fairly good on the back of the camera. And I've also had to bracket the images, the exposures, so I've got half a second, 1 second, 2 seconds at f22, ISO 100. I'll make a decision which of those I prefer and put it on the screen for you now. I don't really know which way I want to go now, which is a lie, by the way. I do know exactly which way I want to go. I quite often find this, I'll say in a vlog that I don't know where I'm going, and then immediately after I've finished speaking I'll make a decision. So at the moment I don't know where I'm going to go, but by the time I finish talking right now I will know exactly which way I want to go. But I don't know what my composition is going to be like when I get there. I don't know what I'm going to find, and I don't know what I'm going to be looking at to photograph. That's kind of the beauty of being out and about in a woodland. And in the autumn season everything changes so much, so something that I might have photographed previously in the spring or the summer or even in the winter, there won't be a shot there now for whatever reason, and that's just because of the way all the light changes and the atmosphere changes and the colours of the woodland change as well. So I'm going to head off in this direction over here now, I've decided, and I'll see what I can find over there. Well, I hope you like fungus, you mongoose. Flipping loads of it through there, that little bit of woodland that I've just walked through. I've stopped here because I've come out into a little bit of a clearing in the woodland with a path running right through the middle of it, and just here at the edge of the path I've got this tree and this tree just behind it. And there are some beautiful golden yellow leaves on the tree behind, so I'm going to stop and set up here and try and take a shot. Again, I think it's going to be a portrait orientation, but it's all about those leaves and the contrast of the tree as well. So I'll see what I can capture here. It's fairly similar to the last one, although I'm probably not quite as close to the subject, and I'll probably make sure I'm zoomed out quite a lot. So this may be 17 to 40mm, somewhere around about 20 to 24mm to capture this image, rather than 100mm to get in really, really close. So this is going to be an interesting one. So I thought I'd stop and tell you about those images I've already shown you. The reason I haven't spoken about them before now, and the reason I've only just shown you the images, is because after I've taken those images, everywhere I've walked so far in the last 25 minutes, half an hour, there's been a lot of people walking a lot of dogs, not on their leads at all, jumping up and causing havoc for everybody and attacking other dogs. Now, I don't mind people walking their dogs at all, but the fact of the matter is, in a public park like this, when it's busy and there are other people walking their dogs, please put your dog on a lead. It's as simple as that. It doesn't hurt, and then you don't have any problems. Anyway, I was busy watching what I was doing to make sure I avoided people's dogs. So I haven't been able to actually vlog anything so far. But those images, the two of the trees at the beginning of the ones that I've shown you now, the first one was obviously the portrait shot that I was going to take anyway, which I told you about. But also, as I stood there looking at the scene, I noticed there was a tree stump, a very small stump, and a bit of log from the tree as well, only a few feet long, both kind of in the foreground of the image, of a landscape image. And I quite like the way they kind of drew your eyes into the image, and then you had those kind of on the right hand side of the image, and then you got the path going towards the left, but also you had then the golden yellow leaves of the trees in the background also balancing the image as well. I thought that looked quite nice. After that I carried on walking, and as I walked a little bit further around the path, I met up with a group of Exmoor ponies once again. I saw a group of them earlier and didn't actually record anything, but met up with another group of Exmoor ponies, stopped and took a couple of shots of a couple of those. One of them looked as though he was about to go to sleep standing up, and then there was another one of him and his mate just behind him. After that then I went to one of my favourite spots in this park, but the thing is, although it's one of my favourite spots, it also seems to be one of the favourite spots of all of the dog walkers who don't leave their dogs on leads. So there was me trying to set up camera equipment, and all around my feet I'd got dogs not on their lead, running around, jumping up at me, trying to knock me over, running through the pond, getting covered in mud and then running back towards me. So everything I was doing was designed to try and avoid getting covered in mud and muck from somebody else's dogs. Anyway, I've carried on, and I found myself in this bit of woodland here, and I think there may even be another image here, and then it's possibly going to be my last image. But I want to see if I can find the shot that I'd looked at a couple of weeks ago and thought about, and if it's still there, then I'll take that shot, and then I'll show you that shot as well. This is the shot that I was talking about. Just behind me here, you'll notice there are still some ferns just kind of hanging on a little bit. Most of them have turned a very orangey brown colour now. There's still one or two of them that still got a little bit of green left in them, but I think that's partly because they haven't been quite as strongly exposed to the elements just there. I think they're kind of tucked away out of the way, and they can kind of keep a little bit of their colour a little bit longer than most of the others that we see. But I do like the colour of the woodland floor just around them, and I quite like the colour of some of the trees, the silver birch trees just behind them as well. So I'm going to stop here and take this shot, set up and see if I can get a decent composition here. I'm pretty sure there is one, and I hope you like this image as well. Well, that was unexpected. Pano style. I wasn't expecting to capture a panorama there. I didn't think the scene worked well with it until I actually got there and set up the camera, and then thought, well, hang on a minute, I could look a little bit better, couldn't it? So I've tried a panorama. If it doesn't work, then there's no sweat really. It's just a bit of fun. I've enjoyed being out and about again in the woodland during the autumn season. It's really right at the height of autumn now, so all of the colours are really changing very quickly, and within a couple of weeks all of this colour could be gone. So I wanted to get out and make sure I captured a few more images. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. I've enjoyed making it, and if you have enjoyed the vlog and the images, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and remember to subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I will see you again on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.